Hello. So, friends, I firstly welcome all students of SIBSC Manmad College Botany subject. I am Professor Dr. S.P. Khairnar. I will teach you for this semester Botany paper second, and title of the course is Plant Physiology. We are meeting since last 6 months up today due to COVID pandemic. It was a very long time to gather, though it is not possible to gather in the classroom, but by the way of online teaching, I am trying to teach this course, plant physiology, to you. And if you have any query, any difficulty, you can ask question on or meet me to the in the college. Okay. The title of the first topic is Introduction to Plant Physiology. Plant physiology is a branch of botany which deals with the study of metabolism or study of biophysical and biochemical reactions taking place in the plant body. Biophysical processes, for example, diffusion, osmosis, plasmolysis, etc., which we have already studied in the last year. While biochemical reactions means processes like photosynthesis, respiration, etc., which also we have already you are familiar with that. How we can define the term plant physiology? Plant physiology, it can be defined as study of metabolic activities in plant body. Metabolic activities means all anabolic and catabolic reactions taking place in the plant body. Anabolic means constructive phenomena and catabolic phenomena means destructive phenomena. Anabolic phenomena, for example, photosynthesis, where by use of simple inorganic substance like CO2 and water in the presence of light, plant synthesize carbohydrates and other types of food materials. So it is anabolic or constructive phenomena. And catabolic phenomena means, for example, respiration, where the complex food material or complex substances they are oxidized into the simple inorganic substances by use of energy. So the total sum of catabolism and anabolism it is called metabolism, and study of metabolism we call it as a plant physiology. Okay. Now let us proceed towards the second point, scope of plant physiology. It means why plant physiology is to be studied. What is its future or what is the scope for study of this plant physiological phenomena? First scope of plant physiology is to understand complex arrangement of tissues and their functions. For example, complex arrangement of tissues, for example, xylem tissue, phloem tissues, sclerenchyma tissues, various other types of tissues, how they are made up of, how they are functioning, and this complexity study for each and every plant, it have the great scope in future also for the plant physiology. Second scope is concept to study the concept of physics and chemistry, which helps to understand the process of water absorption, salt absorption by knowing the phenomena like diffusion, osmosis, root pressure, cohesive forces, etc. Concepts of physics and chemistry. Once we know, then these concepts we apply for the plant life. What is the physical properties or physical characteristics of cell wall, plasma membrane, plant organs, etc. Or what is the chemistry of the cell wall, cell membrane? That is, what chemicals are involved in construction of these various types of cell constituents. So, study of these is very important. By studying these physical and chemical properties of plants, organs, or plant tissues or cells, we come to have the basic knowledge of the plant life. And by that way, we can use this knowledge for studying the absorption phenomena. For example, how the water absorption takes place, how the salt absorption takes place, and thereby we also know, studying this physical and chemical nature of the plant cells or tissues. We can also study diffusion, osmosis, root pressure, etc., etc. So this is the another important scope of plant physiology to study. Then third scope is to understand chemistry of plant life. Chemistry of plant life means how the plant cell originates, how the cell is made up of. For example, cell wall, which is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, etc. Plasma membrane, made up of lipoprotein membranes and other constituents. Middle lamella, which may be made up of pectic substances, like that. Then chloroplast, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, nuclear membrane, etc. All these, how they are made up, what is the chemical nature of all these constituents of the cell. Once we know, once we study them, then that is very important for various other branches like genetics, genetic engineering, plant breeding, etc. So, plant physiology had great scope in all these branches. Then, next scope of plant physiology is to understand the knowledge of biochemistry, morphology, pathology, genetics, and ecology. Means to study, to understand the knowledge of biotechnology, study the knowledge of biochemistry, for study the morphology, pathology, means how the pathogens like fungi, bacteria, how they enter into the plant cell or to infect the plant cell, and how it causes the diseases in plant cell. To know this phenomena, we have to know the plant physiology, the structure of cell wall, structure of plasma membrane, etc. And then we can study the pathology and its how it happens to have the infection, and thereby we can control that disease once we know the knowledge of the biochemistry of the cells and plant organs. Then genetics, the central nucleus which contains nucleolus, chromosomes, etc., etc. Once we know all these characteristics of these nucleolus, genes, DNA, molecules, etc., then we can use that knowledge for modifying the genome of any crop plant so that we can get a new hybrid variety which is having good characteristics for quality and quantity. So that can also be helpful for us. So physiology had great scope. And then ecology, all plants could not grow in one and the same climatic condition. Specific plant grow in specific climatic condition. This is because specific ecological or environmental conditions are there prevailing. So these plants can found only in that particular geographical area where that particular climatic conditions are available. So, by studying the various plant flora, we can identify or we can classify the type of flora growing in a particular locality. So, this is the important scope of plant physiology to understand the biochemistry, morphology, pathogens, genetics, and ecology in the field. ये भी करें जी। Next scope of plant physiology is metabolic aspects in cell organ and in a whole plant or as a microbe. They are very important for getting the optimum product and to improve the efficiency for the productivity. For example, in many plants we find different types of secondary products like alkaloids, tannins, gums, resins, glycosides, etc. etc. And we know these products are very important, very useful for mankind. So for getting high productivity of these secondary products in plant body, we must know their metabolic phenomena, how they are produced in the cell or organ. And by that way, we can, once we know the basic of this productivity of these compounds, then we can modify that process and we can get more production of these secondary metabolites up from the any particular plant. Or by studying physiology of any microbe, for example production of antibiotics or any other types of the compounds, we once we know the physiology of that microorganism, then we can modify that microorganism genome or its physiology, and we can improve the productivity from that particular microorganism. So this is very important significance of plant physiology for the mankind. And by the way, the scope of that plant physiology for future research. Then next scope of plant physiology is to study the aspects related to growth, transpiration, flowering, fruiting, etc. Growth. How plant growth? For example, when we sow the seeds in the moist soil, then that seed germinates to produce a small seedling. So what physiological phenomena takes place in that seed? How it germinates? What phenomena? What various steps involved? How the water is absorbed? How the cotyledon swells? How the embryo starts uh, dividing and to produce uh, plumule and radicle. So what happens? What enzymatic reactions take place during that phenomena? And it leads to the formation of small seedling, then seedling grows into the mature plant. So this is very important. Once we know that growth, all the phenomena, then we know the knowledge of plant growth. Then rate of transpiration, phenomena of transpiration, how water is absorbed, how water from root to the leaves, how it is transported from the leaves, how it is evaporated, and how this process continues. So this is also very important. At which different factors, how they affect the rate of transpiration, number of stomata, how they affect the rate of transpiration, etc. That knowledge we get by studying the physiology of the plant. So for studying this transpiration phenomena, we have must have the knowledge of plant physiology. Then flowering and fruiting. Many plants flower in a particular season. But nowadays, once we know the physiology of flowering, we can modify or we can make that plant to flower at any season as we desire. So this is very important. And so at present we are getting many types of fruits or flowers in the market throughout the year. This is because we know the physiological knowledge of that flowering and fruiting, so we can modify the flowering of that plants, and by that way we can produce flowers or fruit in off season also. This has become possible because of knowledge of plant physiology. So plant physiology are also great future, great scope in future to modify more and more new plants, their flowering, so that we will get more economic products for our consumption. Then next scope of plant physiology is to solve the problem of environment issues like problem of salty soils, barren lands, etc. Salty soils mean the soils in which there is a high concentration of different types of salts and minerals. Due to this high salt concentration, these soils at present does not support to growth and development of any plant. So such soils at present they are barren or fallow, and so every year this problem of this salty or barren soil is increasing day by day in our country, especially in India, especially North India, because of many reasons like high doses of chemical fertilizers, flood, high irrigation doses, etc. So that soils at present they are become barren. So to solve this problem of barren soils, how these barren soils we can make cultivable? For that purpose, once we study the physiology of plants, then we pointed out that some plants can tolerate the high salt concentration in the soil. It means they can grow in that high salty soils. So such a crops or such a plants we can select and we can cultivate them in that salty soil or barren soil, so that they will grow, they will produce economic products, and our problem of barren and salty soils can be solved. So this is very important, another scope of plant physiology for well-being of the mankind. And in last scope of plant physiology is scope in development of biofuels and anti-transpirants. Biofuels, the fuels which are obtained from the biological origin, especially obtained from the biomass or the green plants. Many green plant produces hydrocarbons, and we know these hydrocarbons producing plants they are used for production of biodiesel or biofuel products. And at present these biofuel sources, there is a it is a need of the hour, because fossil fuels they are depleting. So in future there is a great scope for production of the biofuels from the green plant. So once we study the physiology of that biofuel production from the plants, then we can improve that biofuel production, and thereby way these have great scope in uh, for the welfare of the mankind. Then anti-transparents. At present in the agriculture, the major problem is irrigation, non-availability of water for the crop plant. So how we can solve this problem of water availability to the crop plants? Especially during the summer season, many crop plants becomes wilt or get dried because of water scarcity. In such a situation, we have to make that plants to survive or to remain alive in the field even in the high temperature. This is become possible at present because at present we have identified some new biochemicals like anti-transparents. Means these are the chemicals which we spray on the leaves of these crop plants in the field, so that these chemicals partially closes the stomata of the leaves of the crop plants, and as this partially closes the stomata during the daytime, so that the rate of transpiration can be reduced or it may be minimized. And in this situation the water loss from the crop plant is reduced, and that is very economic, very essential for survival of that plant in the field at very high temperature. So this is also very important scope of plant physiology study for surviving crop plants even in the dry situation. So these are the few important scopes of plant physiology what we have discussed now. Thank you.